Hi guys. So I'm back to just give you a little bit of a update on where I am at the moment. But firstly, I just want to say thank you for everybody's support and all the messages that I've received about my last video blog, which was all about sort of self-love and the direction that I'm taking with my business and my own training and my mindset and what I'm trying to achieve with Sculpted by Sally. It means so much to me, and I'm just loving hearing how everybody's been sort of craving for someone to just, start talking about a bit of self-acceptance and things. So I'm really excited to be completely finished all my study and able to sort of implement some of those wellness coaching techniques that I've learnt into some of my clients to help them sort of achieve their goals by overcoming those personal hurdles that they're all sort of suffering in silence. So that's been amazing. Since my last blog, I don't think I spoke at all about my injury, but everybody would have seen through Worx for her, the girls were nice enough to post a photo of me in hospital, that I had recent surgery on my hip. So it was just a small operation. It was an arthroscopy. The reason I had that is because I had a labral tear, so a tear around, it's kind of like cartilage around your hip socket. So I had done quite a bad tear in my labrum, and I had trained through that. So basically what I just wanted to talk about is that injury, just to give everyone a background on it and what's happening with me now and what's happening sort of with the next little stage. But basically that was an injury I got through the 3 seasons I competed in that I spoke about last time. I felt the injury in about March maybe, 2014. But being so close to the shows I was doing, I obviously just kept training. So back when I wasn't really caring too much about an injury, I was more sort of worried about the end goal and getting to stage. So I pushed through. I did about another 10 weeks or something of a prep. I did IMBA, I did AMB, and then I went and did AMB Nationals. After that, it was about June, July. The injury was still quite bad, but I didn't have that goal of getting to stage anymore, so I didn't really want any hurdles in my training, so I wanted to just focus on training and strength training. So I started lifting a little bit heavier. I was getting, energy back from having more calories again. Started lifting a little bit heavier, a bit more weight on my squats, bit heavier dumbbells with my walking lunges, just little gradual stages like that, until it got to the point where I physically could not do a squat anymore. My technique was shocking, my form was bad, my balance was shot. I felt stupid. I was training 6 boot camps a week. I got clients in the studio that are machines, squatting 80 kilos, 55 kilo girls with 80 kilos on their back doing perfect form, and I can't even hold a 10 kilo dumbbell and squat without falling over. So I was pretty annoyed, mainly at myself, I think, because I'd let it get so bad. It felt like a tight hip flexor. So for about a month, I did things like foam rolling. I would roll on a tennis ball because it felt like it was so tight. Nothing was really fixing it. And then we went on our holiday, which I spoke about, which was November. So by this stage, it's been like 8-9 months since the injury. So we went to America on our 16-hour, 45-minute flight from New York to Hong Kong. I could barely sit in my chair. It got so bad. I was just in agony getting off the plane. It was like relief standing up. So as soon as we got back that week, I saw a physio who basically sent me straight to a sports doctor. From there, the sports doctor sent me straight for MRI, knowing straight away what I'd done. I had the MRI, which confirmed that I'd done the tear, and from there, by the next week, I'd seen my surgeon. So it was pretty quick. If only I had known it was going to be that quick, I would have probably done it sooner. But anyone that's training and anyone that does any sport that they love, netball, footy, male, female, we're all so stubborn if we're an athlete. And because I was so obsessed with just getting to stage and doing better than I'd done the year before, and I didn't want to set back 10 weeks out, I should have listened to my body, but I didn't. So basically, the lesson I'm now teaching my clients, which I've always been a big advocate on not pushing through an injury. If it hurts, don't do it. See someone that can help you. I got girls with bad wrists, necks, backs, might be injuries from netball or just sleeping funny. Girls that just have a bad back just because they do, like their posture, things like that. Everybody gets referred to the right person. I no longer let the girls even try and push through things. If someone's got a bad knee, usually they'll be like, I just like to push through, it's fine, I'll just keep going. Now going through what I've gone through, it's made me a better trainer, because now I know that I could have prevented probably how bad my injury was, but because I left it for 10 months, the tear got so large it just kept chipping away to the point of no return. So I'm lucky that it was just a small operation. So now I'm 2 weeks post-op today, and I've just seen my surgeon for a follow-up, which brings me to the next part. So everything went really well. I got to see some lovely images of the inside of my hip joint, which were not pleasant. There was quite a bit of a yuckiness in there, so I'm really happy to now be on the mend. I'm going to start some light little beach walks and stuff this week, but nothing strenuous. I'm still not going to be training any lower body, no running or sprinting, and I won't be getting on the bike just yet, but I am going to start walking. We've just got a puppy, and we've already got my little dog Russie, who's a Cavalier, so she's still small, so I'll probably take her for some walks so she won't pull me along too far, because I definitely don't want to risk injuring it again, which he said is quite common in the next 6 weeks. So I need to keep myself still at low impact with exercise, but obviously I want to start getting a bit more active because I'm feeling a bit bored sitting around, and I'd like to just get some movement happening. Anyway, so I went in for my follow-up today, and I actually walked out with scans to have an MRI on my left knee, which is the next thing. So another injury that I've dealt with for about 3 years, but never done anything about. I saw someone about it last year who basically was just like, you're too young if you want to keep training. There's no point because you're just going to be out of it for a while, basically, and could end up with arthritis, osteoarthritis, about 20 years' time. So back then, a year ago, I was like, well, no, that's not happening, so I'm not doing it. But today, my specialist wanted to look at it a little bit closer. So we did, and he's pretty certain he knows exactly what's wrong, and it's cartilage issues. So I'm having another scan on that this week. So potentially in the next few months, I could end up having another small arthroscopy, but on my other side and on my knee. But now knowing how small of a procedure that is, it only really took me a week, and I was back sort of walking around. So I'm not really too worried. I just want to get all these things that I've sort of done to myself in a way fixed. So if there's any lesson for anyone out there with your training, especially the girls that are competing, a lot of the girls that follow Worx for her are all comp girls, because you write into your supplements and everything like that. But if I have anything at all that you could take away from this video, it's basically to just look after your body. There's so many signs and we just ignore them, like diet related and injury related. I've had this pain in my hip for like a year, almost to now, and I feel ridiculous thinking that I've only just had it fixed and I only had it looked at like a month ago. The knee as well. When he's just straight away said, I'm pretty sure, about 99% sure that this is what's wrong. After spending 50 minutes in an exam room, obviously the MRI will confirm it or deny whether it's true, but dealing with that for like 3 years, it's like, well, that seems a bit petty that I've only just had it fixed or looked at. And diet, like if you've got a coach that you feel miserable and starving and just horrible and you're crying yourself to sleep, why do you get up and do it again the next day? Like, say something, see someone else, get a second opinion, because our body throws all these signs at us and we just ignore them, and it just does damage in the long run. I'm now looking at 2 potential surgeries, small surgeries, in a year for things that I've been feeling for like year to 3 years. If I'd just seen to it when it happened, it would have been probably not as bad. It would have just been, some non-invasive treatment, like PT, physical therapy, and strengthening muscles and things, or not doing those exercises that I was doing, or just correcting my form. Like, it could have just been a bad squat that did my hip. So just look after your bodies, listen to your body, diet related, training related, sleep, if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're walking around like a zombie. It all comes back to just looking after your health and yourself. We all look at our families and friends and want them to look after themselves, or we're worried about them, but we overlook our own health and what we're feeling and our own signals. So listen to your signals. If you're not thinking it's right, then it's probably not. So get a second opinion, get some advice. Coaches, specialists, surgeons, any issue. If anyone is feeling like they are relating to anything I'm saying, injury or diet, especially with any of the self-acceptance stuff, self-love stuff that I'm trying to sort of preach at the moment, feel free to contact me. It's Sally Bell, Sculpted by Sally on Facebook, or you can contact me through Instagram at Sally_self-love. I'm really happy to talk to anyone. I'm just one person out of the millions out there that are suffering in silence about post-comp stuff. I'm just happy to be over it. And I speak to so many people that are either still competing or they're done and they've just sat there and not done a thing about it or not spoke to anyone. And it doesn't matter if you speak to someone that's qualified or unqualified. Speak to someone. Tell them how you're feeling, because you will end up at the better end of it. It just is a bit shitty for a while, but I'm more than happy to talk to anyone that's sort of struggling to, be happy in general, or wake up and just be motivated, or find a new goal. It's about finding goals. So I'm going to stop rambling on because I'm getting onto too many different topics. But I'm very passionate about looking after yourself and loving yourself, as well as the people around you, and just kindness in general. So feel free to contact me and look after yourselves. Look after your body. It's the only one you have got. See ya.